Hello everybody, my name is Richard Vigorelli and this is the Vigorelli Institute. It has been a while since I uploaded anything. I have been unbelievably busy. Work's picked up a lot. Also, it's spring, so I've been doing a lot around my new house. Just the way it is. So, finally got the chance to sit down and record a video or two for you guys. Well, let's talk about future Westeros. Been a while since I've done one of these. Kind of been gnawing at me. Richard, get this done. So, here we go. Alright, one of the things that I didn't talk about in Westeros in general is Dorne. Okay? The only region of Westeros that is a country as we in our world would understand a country. Okay? Well, it's a desert place largely. There's a few arable zones. They're mostly over by the rivers. And in our world, Dorne is heavily inspired by Spain and Northern Africa and Egypt and Arabia. Okay? So, the motifs that you see there are very, very Arabic, okay? The way they dress, the way they act, the way they talk. It's also pre-Islamic Arabic. And also, a lot of ways, early Christian Spain, before they went really hard into religion. Really, really interesting place, Dorne. Okay? Well, at the end of the TV series, remember, I'm only considering the TV series, not the books, because I haven't read the books aren't finished, the TV show is, such as it was. You know, when people get lazy with their writing, it's really annoying. Anyway. So, when we left off, Dorne is in a lot of political trouble. House Martell is falling apart at the seams because, well, they weren't as cool as they thought they were. One of the long-running themes, with the Dornish characters is hubris, okay? They really, really don't like it. Yet commit it willy-nilly all throughout the narrative, okay? Lazy writing. Anyway. So the prince is dead. The princess is dead. All of their successors, as far as we know, are dead. Now, there might be an arm of House Martell that is still alive, and we just don't know about them. So they could continue on. However, one of the things that you find in a medieval society, especially one as literally cutthroat as Dorne, is there's going to be some kind of power struggle that springs up immediately. It's going to be kind of interesting. I doubt it will devolve into civil war, but it would easily turn into some kind of major political power grab. There may be a couple of riots and skirmishes and so forth, but for the most part, 5-10 years down the road, it's solved. Don't worry about it. Who's ever in power is who's ever in power. Okay. Now, depending on what happens north of Dorne, especially northwest of Dorne, in the Reach, will depend on what Dorne does. Okay. I kind of talked about this a little bit earlier. I'm expecting Dorne within 40 to 50 years max to invade the Reach. Here's why. With all the stuff that went on, In the story, places like the Reach and up in the Kinglands are heavily depopulated, which means they don't have the manpower to field an army. Okay? Well, women can be in the army. Hey, you're cute. Not in that society. Okay? The Dornish, however, from what I can tell, they got manpower to spare. So they can easily field a much larger army than the Reach. So why is that important? Well, the Dornish have some land that they can use for farming. However, they don't have a lot. They have a population that is growing at a much faster rate than the other surrounding lands. Okay? So I'm expecting them to invade for farmland and colonizable territory because it's going to get crowded there, and they're not going to have the technological expertise to build more complicated buildings, which will allow a denser population foot. Okay? Also, they're, yes, quasi-communal as far as their culture is concerned, but people, want their space, just the way it is. So they're probably going to invade. They may invade by force, but they may just simply colonize, which will cause some border friction with the Reach and also Westeros. Because I'm willing to bet that Bran the Broken is going to say, no, you can't do that. Yeah, watch me. And that may spark a war over territory. There may be a big political scandal with it. I don't know. It depends on who's in power and how the shadow politics go. It kind of depends. Okay? Now, with the religion side of it, Dorne is kind of sort of in with the Seven, but they're arguably heretical in the way they behave. They're a lot more liberal when it comes to sex and personal place in society. Bastards are not looked on as bad in Dorne. They're just people. So I'm willing to bet that within likely 3 generations, and a little bit more liberal thought moving in there, that the whole naming a child born to unmarried parents as Sand will probably fall out of favor, and it will be more or less done out of a sake of tradition rather than duty and necessity, kind of like it is in our society. It really wouldn't be that big of a deal, and kids will just go on doing whatever it is that they do. It won't mean anything. Okay? Well, one of the major things that will likely persist in Dorne for quite some time is their martial culture. Okay? Hard places breed hard people. Dorne is kind of the diametric opposite in a lot of ways to the North. They're both martial cultures because they live in very harsh conditions. But Dorne lives in fire, whereas the North lives in ice. Okay? So, up in the North, let me take care of you is a very, very big cultural piece, whereas in Dorne, it's more or less done out of convenience. Okay? Which kind of makes a lot of sense. All right? They're very much so might makes right in a lot of ways, and I don't foresee that disappearing. Depending on what happens politically with the Kingdom of Westeros, such as it is, Dorne will likely gain political and demonstrative power as the population increases, and it is very, very evident that they are the most powerful region on the continent. I don't exactly remember if they are part of the Kingdom of Westeros or not. I don't think that they are. At this point, they might be. I could be wrong. Feel free to post that in the comments. But I'm willing to bet in about 3 to 4 generations, if they are part of Westeros, they will definitely declare independence and become their own kingdom again. Likely, as I said before, annexing border regions to the north and northwest. They may even push all the way to Old Town. Just because it's a major port city, and it would give them a boatload of money. As a result, I'm betting within 100 years the Reach may actually fall under control of Dorne, provided a couple of wars here and there. Okay? But like I said before, Westeros is doomed. It's going to balkanize, I guarantee it. Okay? Dorne may also look east, okay, and annex part, something like Lease, which yes, this is from the books, but it's also kind of alluded to in the series, that they do have some allies in the Free Cities. So there may be some kind of political annexation, thus resulting in something resembling an empire for Dorne. So I'm willing to bet that by the time they hit the High Renaissance, early Enlightenment age, comparative to our timeline, Dorne could actually come to resemble the Valyrian Empire in scope and power. Maybe even the Giscari Empire as well. I don't know. Okay. Well, that's what I've got to say on Dorne. If you are new to the channel, do the YouTube thing, subscribe, like, and comment. That'd be awesome for you. Also, feel free to, come say hi. I got a lot of videos. You can even visit my website, vigintmed.com. Kind of a leftover from an older incarnation of the channel, but yes, I do read emails as they come in. So, I'll talk to you later, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.